Let's be honest. Most men are terrified of losing a woman, but they never stop to think about whether she's terrified of losing them. And that's where the problem begins. Because in relationships, the person who fears losing the other usually ends up in the weaker position. They overcompensate, they chase, they tolerate things they shouldn't. And before they know it, they've lost their value in her eyes. Here's the controversial truth. If she isn't afraid of losing you, she will never truly value you. It doesn't matter how much she says she loves you, how often she hugs you, or how many sweet words you hear. If she knows you'll always be there no matter what, your worth in her mind will slowly fade. That's not cruelty, that's human psychology. Now, I'm not talking about playing manipulative games, mistreating her, or trying to control her, none of that nonsense. I'm talking about building yourself into the kind of man who naturally creates a sense of urgency and value in a woman's life. The kind of man who has options, standards, and a life so fulfilling that losing him would feel like losing a rare opportunity she might never get again. Here's where most men fail. They put their entire emotional identity into one woman way too soon. They rearrange their life for her, cancel plans to be available 24/7, and stop pursuing their own goals. At first, she might enjoy that attention, but eventually, she feels like she has all the control. And when a woman feels no risk of losing you, she subconsciously tests boundaries, pulls away, and stops putting in effort. Think about it. Anything in life that comes too easily or is guaranteed forever loses its excitement. If you got paid the same salary, whether you worked or not, you'd eventually stop caring about the job. If your favorite store gave you free items forever, you'd stop appreciating them. The same principle applies in relationships. The absence of risk kills desire. Men don't like hearing this because it forces them to face a hard truth. You can't make a woman afraid of losing you if you're afraid of losing her. Confidence, self-worth, and independence aren't things you can fake for long. They have to be real. This is why women often seem more drawn to men who have strong boundaries, a clear sense of purpose, and lives outside the relationship. These men don't beg for attention, they don't get upset when she's busy, they don't abandon their passions just to make her happy. They understand that their time and energy are valuable, and that makes her see them as valuable too. But here's the twist. Making her fear losing you isn't about threatening to leave. It's about showing through your actions that you're the kind of man who could walk away if his standards aren't met. That doesn't mean being cold or detached. It means not tolerating things that go against your self-respect. It means not chasing when she pulls away. It means being willing to let her go if the relationship stops being healthy for you. Now, some men hear this and think, so you're saying I should just act like I don't care? Number. That's immature. The point isn't to pretend you don't care. It's to genuinely build a life so fulfilling that she can feel you won't collapse without her. When she knows your world doesn't revolve around her, it makes her fight to be a bigger part of it. This is exactly why women respect men who keep improving themselves while in a relationship. When you keep your appearance sharp, keep growing in your career, keep building friendships, and keep chasing goals. She knows she's with a man who other women would notice. And whether she admits it or not, that thought creates a quiet fear in her mind. If I don't keep showing up for this man, someone else will. It's not about making her insecure. It's about making yourself so valuable that losing you would be a genuine loss. And the best part? When you approach relationships this way, you don't just win with women, you win in life. You stop being needy, you start commanding respect, and you attract people who want to invest in you. The truth is, women want to feel secure in love, but they also want to feel like they've earned that security. If it's handed to them unconditionally from the start, they take it for granted. The sweet spot is when she knows she has your love because she's earned it, and she could lose it if she stops showing up. That balance keeps the fire alive. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to trigger that healthy fear of losing you, not through manipulation, but through self-mastery. We'll cover how to build a life she admires, how to set boundaries without pushing her away, how to maintain attraction over time, and how to make sure you are never the one chasing a dying spark. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about women. It's about you becoming the kind of man who never has to beg for love because his presence is worth keeping. 1. Stop giving 100% too soon. One of the fastest ways to kill a woman's curiosity and excitement is to hand her your whole heart before she's even invested in you. This is a mistake countless men make, not because they're weak, but because they've been taught to believe that showing maximum effort from day one is the right thing to do. But here's the truth most people won't say out loud. When you give too much too soon, you remove the mystery, the challenge, and the sense of earning your attention. Instead of feeling lucky to have you, she starts feeling like she can have you whenever she wants, without effort. And when there's no effort required, interest fades. Think about the last time you really valued something. Chances are it wasn't something handed to you on a silver platter. It was something you worked for, something that required patience, time, and persistence. That effort created emotional investment. Relationships work the same way. When you meet a woman, it's natural to want to impress her. You might start texting her all day, canceling plans with friends to see her, buying gifts, or telling her how much you like her before she's truly gotten to know you. It feels like you're proving yourself. But to her, it can feel like you're too available. And availability in excess kills desire. This doesn't mean you should play games or act cold. It means you should pace your effort so it matches hers. If she's texting you once a day, don't flood her with messages morning, noon, and night. If she's still figuring out how she feels about you, don't act like you've already decided she's the one. Let things develop naturally. Why? Because humans value what they earn. If she has to put in effort to get your time, your attention, and your affection, she'll appreciate it far more when she gets it. But if she gets all of it without lifting a finger, she has nothing to work towards and nothing to lose. Let's be real. Men who give 100% too soon often end up feeling unappreciated. They put her on a pedestal only to realize she doesn't treat them the same way in return. This imbalance happens because she never had the chance to earn that level of commitment. It was just handed to her. And when something feels guaranteed, it's easy to take for granted. Imagine this scenario. You meet a woman at a friend's birthday party. You click instantly. She laughs at your jokes, you enjoy the conversation, and you exchange numbers. The very next day, you send her long, heartfelt messages, invite her to dinner, offer to drive across town just to see her for an hour, and start talking about all the amazing places you could go together. At first, she might feel flattered, but after a week, she starts to feel like she's already won without even trying. You've given her total access to your time and attention without giving her a chance to earn it. Subconsciously, she starts to lose that curiosity she had on day one. She doesn't wonder what you're doing because she already knows. You're thinking about her all the time. Now let's flip that situation. Same party, same woman. You enjoy talking with her, you exchange numbers, but instead of blowing up her phone, you send one friendly message the next day. You keep your schedule full with your usual activities: gym, work, hobbies, time with friends. When you do meet up, you're fully present and engaging, but you don't rush to give her all of your free time. She starts to notice that you're not just sitting around waiting for her to text. She starts to wonder what's going on in your life when you're not with her. That curiosity makes her want to know you more. The difference isn't in playing hard to get. It's in having a life that doesn't stop for her. And here's the key. This isn't fake confidence. You're not pretending to be busy. You are busy because you value yourself enough to keep building your life. When you stop giving 100% too soon, you allow space for the relationship to grow at a natural pace. You give her room to invest in you emotionally. And that investment creates a healthy fear of losing you, not because you're threatening to walk away, but because she knows she hasn't locked you in yet. This is the balance most men miss. They think that holding back effort means they're being distant or uncaring, but in reality, it's about matching her level of interest and letting it build over time. You don't plant a seed and dump a gallon of water on it the same day. You water it slowly so it can grow strong roots. By pacing yourself, you also protect your own emotions. You avoid falling too hard, too fast for someone you barely know. This keeps you grounded, observant, and able to see whether she's actually a good fit for your life before you hand her your full commitment. When you learn to stop giving 100% too soon, you shift the dynamic. She sees you as a man with standards, self-control, and a life worth being part of. And that's exactly the kind of man women don't want to lose. 2, make her earn your time. Time is the most valuable thing you have. Money can be made again. Opportunities can come back. But once your time is gone, it's gone forever. And yet, too many men give it away like it's unlimited. They'll cancel important plans, neglect their goals, and spend hours chasing a woman who hasn't shown the same level of interest. Here's the controversial truth. If you treat your time like it's cheap, she will too. You've probably heard the phrase quality over quantity. When it comes to dating and relationships, this couldn't be more true. It's not about how much time you spend with her, it's about the value of that time and whether she feels she's had to earn it. Most men give away their time too freely because they're afraid of losing a chance with her. They think, if I don't make myself available, she'll lose interest. But the reality is, constant availability often has the opposite effect. It makes you predictable, and predictable quickly becomes boring. Think about how people treat things they had to work for. When someone has to put in effort, they value the reward more. The same applies here. If she has to wait a little to see you, if she knows you have things going on in your life, she'll appreciate your time far more than if you're ready to drop everything the second she calls. Making her earn your time doesn't mean playing games or trying to make her jealous. It's about having clear priorities and not letting infatuation distract you from them. It's about letting her know through your actions that you have a life that matters to you, and she's welcome to be part of it if she brings value. Let's break this down. You've been talking to a woman you really like. She suggests meeting up on a night when you already have a business meeting or plans with your friends. Many men would immediately rearrange everything to make it happen. But what does that say? It tells her that her schedule is more important than your own, and that you'll compromise your own life just to fit into hers. Instead, you could say, I can't that night. I have something important, but I'm free on Thursday. This sends a completely different message. Your life has structure, your commitments matter, and spending time with you is something to look forward to, not something she can have on demand. And here's the part most men don't realize. This actually makes you more attractive. When you're not instantly available, she knows she has to plan ahead to see you. She'll put more thought into the time you spend together, and she'll feel like she's earning a spot in your life instead of just taking it. This approach also keeps you from over-investing in someone who isn't investing in you. If she cancels plans repeatedly, avoids making an effort, or only reaches out when she's bored, you'll spot it faster when you're not constantly giving her unlimited access to your time. Here's a story that illustrates this perfectly. A friend of mine met a woman he thought was incredible. From the first week, he spent almost every night with her. He stopped going to the gym, skipped networking events, and even cut back on his side business just to be with her. At first, she seemed to enjoy the attention, but by the third month, she was distant. She stopped texting as much, took longer to respond, and wasn't as affectionate. He didn't understand why. After all, he was giving her everything. The problem? She didn't have to earn it. There was no anticipation, no excitement. His time had become a constant, something she didn't have to work for, and without that sense of earning his attention, the spark faded. Now contrast that with another guy I know. When he started dating his now wife, he made it clear he had a busy life. He was building a business, training for a marathon, and maintaining his friendships. He liked her, but he didn't drop everything to be with her. At first, she admitted it was frustrating that he wasn't always available, but it also made her respect him. She started planning their time together more carefully. When they met up, the moments were full of energy, conversation, and real connection. She felt like she was with a man whose time was precious, and she wanted to be worthy of it. The takeaway is simple. Your time is a reflection of your value. If you give it away too easily, it loses meaning. If you guard it and share it with people who have earned it, it becomes a privilege, and privileges are appreciated, not taken for granted. Making her earn your time also sets the tone for the entire relationship. It tells her from the start that you're not a man who can be walked over. You respect your life, your goals, and your commitments, and you expect others to respect them too. So here's the bottom line. Don't try to win her over by giving her endless access to your time. Win her over by making your time worth winning. Keep building your life. Keep chasing your goals. And when you do give her your time, make it so valuable that she never wants to lose it. 3. Never pause your goals for her. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is putting their personal goals on hold to focus entirely on a woman. It feels romantic in the moment. You think you're showing her how important she is by giving her your undivided attention. But here's the truth. The second you put your life on pause for her, you start losing the very qualities that attracted her in the first place. Think about it. Before you met her, you had a life. You had ambitions, plans, routines, and a vision for your future. You had things that made you feel alive, proud, and fulfilled. Those things gave you a sense of purpose, and purpose is deeply attractive. But when a man starts sidelining his goals for a relationship, his energy changes. He becomes more focused on pleasing her than on growing himself. He stops chasing his dreams and starts chasing her approval. And over time, this shift makes him less interesting, less confident, and less respected. Not just by her, but by himself. You have to understand something about attraction. It's not built on comfort alone. It's built on admiration. She admires you when she sees you pushing forward, when she sees you committed to something bigger than both of you, when she sees you showing discipline and drive. That admiration is what keeps her respect and desire alive. When you pause your goals, you send the unspoken message that she is more important than your future. At first, she might enjoy the attention, but eventually she'll start to notice the lack of ambition. She might not say it out loud, but she'll feel it. And once that feeling sets in, it's hard to reverse. This isn't about choosing between love and success. It's about understanding that the best relationships happen when both people continue to grow individually. If you keep advancing toward your goals, you bring fresh energy and excitement into the relationship. You're not just repeating the same conversations and routines, you're evolving, and she gets to witness that. Here's another reason you should never pause your goals. You don't know how long the relationship will last. That might sound harsh, but it's reality. People change. Life happens. If things end and you've neglected your ambitions for months or years, you'll be starting from behind. You'll have to rebuild not just your career or projects, but your own sense of identity. Your goals are the foundation of your self-respect. They remind you that you're capable of achieving things without relying on anyone else. When you keep working on them, whether it's building a business, improving your fitness, learning a skill, or advancing in your career, you maintain that inner strength. And that strength is exactly what makes you a man worth staying with. Some men think, well, I can pause my goals for a while. I'll come back to them later. But life doesn't work like that. Momentum is powerful. When you stop moving forward, it's harder to start again. And once she sees you becoming stagnant, it's nearly impossible for her to see you the same way she did when you were driven. This is why the men who keep their goals alive tend to have healthier relationships. They aren't trying to impress her by sacrificing their dreams. They're impressing her by staying committed to them. That commitment inspires respect. And respect is the glue that holds attraction together over the long term. So here's the bottom line. No matter how much you like her, no matter how much time you spend together, your goals are not optional. They are not negotiable. They are part of who you are. And if you give them up, you give up a piece of yourself. If she truly values you, she won't want you to pause your ambitions. She'll want to see you win. And when you keep winning, you give her more reasons to stay proud of the man she's with. 4. Walk away. When respect fades, men, you need to hear this. If she loses respect for you, it's only a matter of time before she loses everything else too. Attraction, admiration, trust, they all start with respect. And the moment you allow disrespect to slide, you're telling her it's okay to treat you like less than you deserve. Here's the hard truth. Too many men see the signs early, but refuse to act. They feel the shift in her tone. They notice the way she dismisses their opinions. They sense the lack of effort. And instead of addressing it or walking away, they cling harder. They think that by proving their loyalty, she'll come back to how she was in the beginning. Wake up! That's not how it works. When a woman starts to lose respect, it's almost never because you weren't nice enough. It's because you stopped holding your own line. You let things slide. You ignored red flags. You allowed her to treat you in ways you would have never accepted from anyone else. And the more you tolerated it, the further her respect fell. Respect is not just about how she talks to you. It's about how she sees you. Does she see you as a man with standards, boundaries, and self-respect? Or does she see you as someone who will put up with anything just to keep her around? The problem with many men is that they confuse patience with weakness. Patience means giving someone room to fix their behavior. Weakness means accepting behavior that should never have been tolerated in the first place. And when you're weak, you're not doing yourself or her any favors. Here's what you need to understand. Walking away is not an act of anger. It's an act of self-respect. It's not about punishing her. It's about protecting yourself. If you continue to stay when the respect is gone, you're telling her that her actions have no consequences. And once she believes that, there's no reason for her to treat you better. I've seen too many men stay in situations where they were clearly undervalued because they were afraid of being alone. They'd rather endure a slow, painful decline in the relationship than face the discomfort of walking away. But what they don't realize is that staying in a place where you're not respected is worse than being alone. It chips away at your confidence, your masculinity, and your sense of worth. Here's the part that should wake you up. A woman who respects you will never want to lose you. If that respect is gone, she has already mentally checked out, and it's just a matter of time before she physically follows. By staying, you're only delaying the inevitable while damaging yourself in the process. Walking away when respect fades isn't easy. It requires courage. But that courage is what separates men who demand value from those who settle for scraps. You have to be willing to say, if you can't respect me, you can't have me. And you have to mean it. Men, stop thinking that being the good guy means being endlessly forgiving. Stop thinking that your loyalty will magically restore her respect. Stop thinking that if you wait long enough, things will go back to how they were. The only way to rebuild respect is to remove yourself from situations where it's no longer given. When you walk away, you're not just sending a message to her. You're sending a message to yourself. You're saying, my dignity matters. My standards matter. I will not stay where I am undervalued. And that message will echo into every part of your life, making you stronger, more confident, and more respected, not just by women, but by everyone around you. So here's the wake-up call. If you feel the respect slipping, address it. If it doesn't return, walk. Don't hesitate, don't beg, and don't cling. Your self-respect is worth more than any relationship. 5. Stay wanted by staying rare. Men, here's something most won't tell you. You become less valuable when you become too available. The more predictable you are, the more routine you become, the more she feels she's figured you out, the less urgency she feels to keep you. It's human nature. We value what feels rare, we chase what feels special, we protect what we know we could lose, but when you're always there, always free, always ready to drop everything for her, you stop being that rare find and start being just ordinary. Being rare isn't about playing games. It's about having a life so full, so engaging, and so purpose-driven that no one person becomes the center of your existence. When she sees that your time is valuable, that you're in demand, that you have things going on outside of her, she understands that being with you is a privilege, not a given. The problem is too many men get comfortable. They start strong, mysterious, and exciting, but then they shift into constant availability. Calls are answered instantly. Plans are always flexible. Every weekend is open. It feels romantic at first, but over time, it kills the spark. Why? Because there's no longer any challenge, no unpredictability, no feeling of, I need to keep this man interested. If you want to stay wanted, you have to stay interesting. That means continuing to grow, explore, and engage in activities that light you up. Keep your passions alive. Keep your friendships strong. Keep your goals moving forward. A man who is constantly becoming a better version of himself never loses his value. And here's the key. Being rare doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being selective. It means your attention has to be earned, not assumed. When she knows that your time and focus are limited, she'll value them more. And when she values them more, she'll fight harder to keep them. So stop thinking that love is about constant presence. Stop thinking that being endlessly available will make her feel secure. Real security comes from respect, admiration, and the sense that she has someone exceptional by her side. You stay exceptional by staying rare. We've walked through every point, the importance of not giving 100% too soon, making her earn your time, never pausing your goals, walking away when respect fades, and staying wanted by staying rare. Now, here's the truth that might sting. A man who fears losing a woman more than he fears losing himself has already lost her. That's the most controversial thing I'll say today, but it's also the most important. Because the moment you put someone else's approval above your own self-respect, you've given away the very thing that made you attractive in the first place: your independence, your strength, and your ability to walk away when necessary. And here's why this matters. Too many men build their lives around keeping a woman, instead of building a life so fulfilling that she naturally wants to be part of it. They pour everything into the relationship, hoping that effort alone will hold it together, but forget that effort without respect is worthless. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this: the power in any connection lies with the person who is willing to walk away. That doesn't mean being cold or manipulative. It means you have to know your worth so deeply that you refuse to be somewhere you're not valued. Now, I want to make this a conversation, not just a lecture. If you've ever been in a situation where you felt respect slipping away, if you've ever sacrificed too much of yourself trying to keep someone, if you've ever made yourself too available and saw the spark die, I want to hear your story. Drop a comment below and share your experience. Tell me where things went wrong, or maybe where you turned it around. I read them, I reply to them. And yes, if your story stands out, I might even reach out personally to talk more, because this isn't just theory, this is real life. These are lessons we learn the hard way, and if I can save even one man from losing himself in the process of trying to keep someone else, it's worth it. Here's the deal: connection is built when men talk openly, share honestly, and hold each other accountable. That's what I want this space to be. A place where you can be challenged, where you can be reminded of your value, and where you can be pushed to never settle for less than respect. So comment, engage, share, and remember, relationships can be beautiful, but only if you keep yourself whole. The second you trade your self-respect for love, you've lost both. Stay sharp, stay focused, stay rare.